Okay guys, remember I told you a week or two ago I had a video planned but I couldn't get it done? This is that video. This is a video of Ken Roczen and the 4 tracks the real Ken Roczen has made for this game, Monster Energy Supercross 6. This is freaking awesome, and all 4 tracks are very cool, very fun. This first one is probably my least favorite, but it's still very, very good. Now, I didn't have or spend a ton of time on each track. I do use the rewind feature a couple times just to see if I can get a part of the track that I wasn't able to get. But really cool, really well done. And I would say all these tracks are pretty technical. They really are. They're pretty tricky. And what that tells me is that Ken Roczen is actually probably pretty good at the video game, because there's like triples and rhythm sections that are really difficult to get either out of the corner or you just have to hit it just right. And he has a lot of parts on these tracks that kind of turn away from you. It appears he likes having kind of a curved part of the track and then have a jump or a rhythm lane there. So really cool, really well done. This track again was probably my least favorite, but it was still really, really good. Really cool, really just a variety of different things, right? And each track feels pretty different from itself. It doesn't necessarily feel like the same person made them, but yeah, the real Ken Roczen has made these tracks. And now that step on, step off, I'm not sure if you could actually step off, because that step off was pretty far away and pretty big. Maybe you can, but I wasn't able to. Also, I did struggle because playing it on console felt quite a bit different from playing it on PC, so I tried my best. I'm sorry the gameplay isn't the best, but you know, whatever. And it was weird to use Roczen on the CRF 450 because on PCI mods by Pay 2021, and we have them on the Suzuki, so kind of felt a bit weird, but had to use Roczen considering they're his track. So here is Roczen Try 2, and this was the track that he recommended you guys try. So this was the one he was obviously most happy with, and then this part right here was really tricky. So it kind of curves away from you, but that's a huge jump. And then to keep rhythm, to jump over the bridge, pretty difficult. It actually was pretty tough, tougher than I thought it would be. So kind of cool that Roczen plays the game enough to be able to make some of these really cool, technical, tricky tracks, right? And it's all because he got injured. I forget what track it was, but remember his shock completely blew up and gave way after in the whoops, and he went down. So he's kind of, I mean, he's injured, and so he's spending his time, he's spending some of his time at least in this game, Monster Energy Supercross 6, making tracks. I don't know if I told you, but the way I heard about this was he did a story on his Instagram, I think it was his Instagram, and said that, hey, I made Roczen Try 1, Try 2, go for Try 2. He felt like that was the better track, and he was right. This track was phenomenal. It was very, very fun, very, very cool. One of my favorites. It wasn't my favorite. It was my second favorite, probably. But my favorite one is coming up. Now, the third track and the fourth track are for sure made by Ken Roczen, but I'm not sure they were made at the same time. Maybe those are older tracks, and maybe they were made at the same time. I'm really not sure. That's one thing that I don't know for sure. But either way, they were made by Ken Roczen. Now, there are a few tracks that are named the exact same thing, but aren't made by him. People trying to cash in on getting downloads or whatever. Just be aware that if it's by Ken Roczen, it will have the gamer tag of KRock or KR94, I believe. K_94 maybe. So that's the gamer tag, PSN, whatever, that Ken Roczen has, so you can know if it's actually really Ken Roczen's track or just a fake imitation, right? But really cool, this track. Awesome that he took the time to play the game and dish out some tracks for you guys to try, because I know if you have the game, you'll want to try these, especially if you're on console. Now, here is Roczen 3. This may be my favorite one. We're going to kind of go over the track. Now, also one thing I did want to say, if I was doing, and I know I said all the tracks were really well done, but if I was doing a Does Your Track Suck, we haven't done that for a while. Maybe we'll bring it back someday, but if I was doing a Does Your Track Suck on these 4 tracks, all of them would have been really good. I would say, you know, at most 1 star to probably the first track at most. And someone might say, you'd only give it 1 star out of 5. No, the less suck stars you have, the better your track is. We do it backwards here because it's just kind of weird, but so many different lines you can take. So here I step on, step off, and then we jump over. That isn't the best way. The last track is very similar to this one in that it has a bunch of line choice out there. Short whoop section, but that's why I think I really enjoy this track and the last track too, because of the line choice and how difficult it actually can be. The second track, I enjoyed it because of just how flowy it was. I mean, there was that really tough spot jumping across the start straight that can be kind of tricky, but beyond that, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty easy, but it was very, very flowy. Not super easy, but easy enough you could get into a flow, even for someone like me that was really struggling trying to play on the Xbox console, because it feels different. The frame rate's different. I don't know, it felt different. But I'd be curious to see which track you guys prefer. If you have played them, which was your favorite track? If you have played them, let me know in the comments what you thought about them. And if you haven't played them, just from the video, which is your favorite track? And are you surprised that Ken Roczen plays the game enough to be, you know, at least decent at the game? I don't know. I can't get over that. I find that, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. It feels weird because I've seen some of the riders play stuff like this before and they weren't very good. They weren't very good, but then I've seen other riders play the game and were quite good. I know Adam Cianciarulo was really good at Supercross 3. And obviously, again, Roczen is really good, or pretty good at this game. Now, this track, also very good. I would say it was pretty equal to the second track. I enjoyed it about the same. Now, here, this section was kind of difficult. So, getting that middle jump to be able to triple out was more tough than it appeared to be, for sure. But again, similar to the second track and the third track, there is some line choice here, and it just was flowy, but somewhat difficult. Somewhat difficult too. I mean, this big triple kind of thing was really tough. I mean, you had to do it in third gear for sure, and be pretty wide open at that. And then just this, you know, jumping in and then hitting it just right to jump out. There was a bunch of those sections where it would be like a double in, triple out, or triple quad. It just felt good. It felt really good in the game. And Ken Roczen, I know you'll never see this video, but really, really cool, dude. This is awesome. I had a good time. I had a lot of fun, and I would give you a really good rating. I would give you, if we did the suck star rating system out of 5 stars, I would give you probably half to 1 star on each track, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because if you have 5 stars in the sucky stars, that means your track is really bad. But here, in this case, it's really well done. And the best part about this track was probably the finish line rhythm section. I always find it cool when, and I have seen it before, when the finish line is incorporated into a rhythm section, and then it's either a jump in the rhythm section or a landing. And in this case, it technically wasn't a landing, it was the second jump in a triple. But here I wanted to show you off the start, it is really easy to jump that entire section before this one, but I was messing myself up quite a bit because, again, I was really having trouble on the console. So that's another option, and for the most part, the rest of the lap is about the same. This rhythm section, again, like I said, was probably my favorite. It was kind of easy to overjump that one, but if you hit it just right, the entire track works just right. And then here we come up a bit short on this quad because it was just really tough. And if you come up short, you can't quite get the triple out. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about these tracks and what you would give them for a suck star rating if you're familiar with Does Your Track Suck. But Ken Roczen, awesome job. Really cool. Super awesome. Yeah, and that's the video for today. So you guys, girls, are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.